So I know I'm late, but I've seen the movie twice, gonna see it again tomorrow. But here, finally, is my review for Avengers Infinity War, the spoiler edition. So by now, most of you have probably seen Avengers Infinity War, and as you know, it's a fantastic movie. Like my spoiler-free review said, it's an 8.8, and besides that, I didn't really say a lot in that review. But honestly, the characters, the humor, and then at the same time, the seriousness of the movie, the tone was just fantastic. And the way everything balanced was just fantastic. And I think it all comes down to having Thanos as this amazing villain, because essentially what they do is they change the roles around a bit, where in normal Marvel movies, in normal superhero movies, it's usually so the main character will go on what I like to call the hero's journey, where they start off with close to nothing, they have an end game, they have a quest that they want to complete, they go along the way, you know, do the little tasks that they have to, and along the way they usually sacrifice something, lose something, and then they get their final goal complete. And by putting Thanos in that position, it essentially fleshes him out as much as a normal Marvel hero would be in his own like solo movie. And that's the driving force behind the movie. Because it's, while everyone's here, while Tony's here, Cap's here, etc., they are never really the main focus of the film. The main storyline is always what Thanos is doing, where he's going, and we follow him for the entire run of the film. Meanwhile, we go on Thor's little side quest to get his new axe. We see Tony and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange chasing Thanos. And then we see Cap and stuff all preparing on Earth for Thanos. And it's all revolved around Thanos. Besides Thanos, the other thing that works really well in the movie is the humor. For a movie that's supposed to be so, dark and serious, and which it is, and at the end, like, your heart drops. But the way they implement the humor as well throughout the film is so good. So good. And you've got amazing lines, especially from Drax, who's got some of the funniest lines in the movie. Him and even Spider-Man has some very good lines. And just all together, you just get this cohesion, and it works so well on so many levels. And it's hard to believe they pulled this off as well, just because you're implementing about, I don't know, like 20 heroes or something, one villain, and even like 4 sub-villains, I guess, if you count them. But the way the balancing is done throughout the movie is fantastic. And so you've probably heard everyone raving about it, I'm raving about it now. So I still have a few minor issues with the film. The first one being that I wish Captain America was in it a bit more. I wish he had a bigger role. Obviously he'll have a much larger role in the second film, considering he is only one of 5, 6 people that are left. But I do wish he had a bit more to do in this film, because he felt a bit too backgrounded. Whereas like Tony Stark had tons of screen time, Cap was just a bit further in the shadows. So my second issue with the film is just, I wish Thanos and Gamora's relationship was set up a tiny bit more. Maybe not in this film, but maybe like previous Marvel films. Like obviously we get a bit of a hint at it in Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's just a bit implied, but I wish it was just, a bit more concrete, so that the emotional impact of, I guess, him killing Gamora just, resonated a bit more. Like it was still an emotional moment, especially when he sheds a tear, but I just wish, as an audience member, it just felt like, it was just a cheap write-in at the last second. So I wish that was set up a bit better from the beginning. Honestly, I'm trying to think of a third issue, and I don't think I really have any issues besides that. And in that case, I guess I'll just talk about a few of my favorite scenes. And this is where a lot more of the spoilerish stuff comes in. But one of my favorite scenes, and it's a bit slack, is when Vision dies. Mainly because he gets killed once by Scarlet Witch to save the stone. And Thanos stands there, rewinds time, and he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you again. It's so slack, but at the same time, it was savage, but it was pretty funny at the same time. I don't know if I should be laughing at that, but I am. Besides that, yeah, like I said, Drax's lines were so good. He's just standing there while Star-Lord and Gamora are talking. Besides that, the "why is Gamora" line is really good. Spider-Man's little conversation with Doctor Strange is really nice. I guess that's what it brings me to. So I like the team-ups, the way it's been separated, because all the team-ups, they work. And you'd never thought you'd see, you know, Iron Man and Doctor Strange together. And like, they're together for the entirety of the movie, and their relationship just worked. Everyone in that little group, so Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and then like when they meet up with the Guardians as well, like, well, that half of the Guardians, it just works. And then Thor's interaction with the Guardians works really well, especially his little subplot with Groot and Rocket. And it's just, I don't know, like, it's just an amazing balancing act, and somehow they pulled it off. They put all the characters where they belonged, where they best would fit in, and created this marvelous movie. And no pun intended on that. But yeah. What else? I guess the thing to talk about as well is how much this movie is not like a traditional movie. And the main way I mean that is, a lot of movies have, you know, that first act, second act, third act structure where, like, yeah, you're taken through that hero's journey, etc. But here it's kind of, it feels just non-stop. It just, the movie starts and it just keeps on going, and you do not get a break in this movie. There is pretty much no time for a toilet break. Like, you pee before the movie, otherwise you don't pee at all until it ends. And you gotta sit through that little after credit stuff as well. But yeah, so as a non-stop movie, it just, yeah, it keeps chugging along the entire time, full steam ahead. And the reason they're able to achieve something like this without including like character development, for example, for their heroes, is because they've set up 18 movies prior to that with all the character development you need. And that in itself is an impressive feat. And it allows them to do so much more. And just in any future, like, so the next part of this film, they once again don't have to elaborate on that character development. Like, they'll probably have a tiny bit where, well, obviously Tony and Steve will meet up again, and after the events of Civil War, they'll have a little, you know, patch up, and that'll be it. That'll be that development. And it won't go any further than that, besides, you know, they're just going to be beating up Thanos. And then Captain Marvel will pop in, so that'll be exciting. But yeah, so I'll round this off now. Basically, 8.8 out of 10. Excellent film. If you haven't seen it, why not? Go see it. You're probably like one of 2 people in the world who haven't seen it. So go see it. Besides that, excellent film. Next week, Deadpool 2 comes out. Very excited for that. I will be seeing that on Wednesday, if you're in Australia. I have like 2 viewers internationally, so I don't know what that falls for you. But anyway, I'll be seeing it Wednesday. Hopefully could get a review pulled together by the Thursday night. And then the week after that, Solo comes out, which is just May madness. But yeah, so it's an exciting month. Look forward to those 2 reviews, hopefully coming up when I said they would come up. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.